everybody, I'm Donna. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to do chicken paprikash. Something new, I've never made it, so it'll be an experiment, but you can't go wrong with chicken usually, so we'll see. So the first thing we need to do is season our chicken. I have bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. You can use legs, you can use breast if you want. I suggest the bone-in, it always gives you more flavor on your chicken. We are going to season it with paprika. I have about a quarter of a cup here. We're going to use half of it on the chicken and half of it on the vegetables. So first we just want to season our chicken with it, lots of it. The name Paprikash is derived from paprika. So this is definitely a paprika dish. This is smoked paprika, which gives it an awesome flavor. We're also adding salt and pepper. I have my oven preheating to 400 degrees. This dish will start on top of the stove and then end up in the oven. So let me turn this over, season the back sides. I have 6 thighs here. Now I've got my hands. Hold on. Okay. All right, so we'll season this side. I did trim off some of the fat on these just so we don't have some big flaps of chicken skin. It's a little too heavy sometimes. Okay. All right, let's go over to the stove top. And in my pan that I have heating up is 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I also have 2 tablespoons of butter. You always want to make sure that your pan is nice and hot before you put any meat in. The best part of cooking the meat is getting that sear on the skin, and this has to be hot before you can do that. So we're going to start that in here, skin side down. If I can squeeze all 6 of them in here, it'll be a tight fit. Okay, and these are going to cook about 2 minutes on this, 2 minutes per side, so we'll let that get going while we cut our vegetables. And I have paprika all over the counter. Okay, I have already cut up most of our vegetables. I have a very small head of cabbage here that I shredded, just cut finely, and I also cut some carrots. We are cutting an onion here that we're going to add to this, and I'm just thinly slicing it. And this is where you got to be careful. I'm not one of those fast chefs that can do it all. So I take my time. I cut them thinly, similar to the same way I cut the the cabbage. And so this is so that everything can sort of cook evenly at the same time. And then I have a carrot here. I did 2 good-sized carrots. And I am slicing these thinly. And then we're going to sort of matchstick them a little bit so that everything is similar to the same cut and size. And remember, I've said before, the sharp knife is what you need in your kitchen. Just be very careful. I'm not comfortable getting close, so we're done with that. And then I'm just sort of taking these discs and just giving them a little chop here to make kind of a matchstick. Okay. I can hear that chicken sizzling over there, and already the kitchen smells wonderful. I wish I didn't have to heat up my oven on this nice hot Colorado day, but this was on the menu for tonight, so we're going with it. Okay, so those are all of our vegetables. I think I'm going to go ahead and turn the chicken over. Let's see how it's doing. It's browning, but it's not quite there yet. So we're gonna let it go another minute. Then we will flip the chicken and pull it out when that's done. And then we'll cook our vegetables. Okay, we're ready to take this chicken out. You can see how nice and brown it's gotten, and you can hear that sizzle. So we did about 2 to 3 minutes per side. We were going to finish cooking this in the oven, so we want to get this out so we can cook our vegetables. This grease is nice and hot, so be careful. Let's see, get this piece, there we go. Okay. Okay, we're going to put in our vegetables. So this is the carrots and cabbage. Stand back. Oh, not so bad. And then our onions. Cabbage is similar to spinach. Like, it looks like a ton, but it really cooks down. So we're going to get this going in here and add in salt and pepper and the rest of the paprika. And this will cook down, and then while the chicken's in the oven, we are going to cook some spatzel, which again, I've never done that before. It's basically like a little dumpling that will serve this over. So it'll be really good. We're going to cook these vegetables down and add some broth and make a nice gravy for the chicken. So we'll let these cook probably about 5 minutes, and then we'll add the chicken back in and get it back in the oven. Okay, our vegetables have been going for just about 5 minutes. I know you're thinking, man, that looks good, huh? Yeah, this is going to be good. Like I said, I've never made this before. Nor do I know if this is an authentic recipe. I believe that chicken paprikash is Hungarian. And this recipe was inspired by Chef Michael Simon from the Food Network channel. He's my favorite lately. So thank you, Michael Simon. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to add some flour and start making a roux so that we can get a nice sauce going to set our chicken in. Now remember, we had originally 2 tablespoons of oil and 2 tablespoons of butter, so 4 tablespoons of fat, basically, and you need 4 tablespoons of flour, which is equivalent to 1/4 cup. So we're going to go ahead and sprinkle the flour over all the vegetables, and we'll give that a stir. Let it get all incorporated. And to make a roux, you just need equal parts fat and equal parts flour, and then you slowly add liquid. And as the liquid comes to a heat, comes to a boil, it will make a nice thick sauce. So always when you want a nice thick creamy sauce, start with a roux. Okay, so I've got all the flour incorporated, and I've got my burner on, it's about a medium heat, that's what it's been on. So I have chicken stock. We're going with 4 cups of chicken stock. You could use vegetable stock if you prefer, but we want to start by just adding in a little and getting it stirred up. Making roux takes a little bit of time, so just be patient. We've got a lot of vegetables in here, veggies. Okay, a little bit more. So we'll keep this going. You can already see it's starting to get thick. You can see the nice sauce that's already on the vegetables. And as we keep adding our liquid, it's just going to make a great gravy. So I'm going to slowly keep adding my liquid until all 4 quarts are added. and then we'll let that simmer for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll add the chicken in. Okay, our sauce has been stewing for a little bit. I have just a little more chicken broth to add. I want you to see this gravy that has formed now. You can see how it's just a nice thick sauce with those vegetables. Carrots are my own addition to here. They are not part of the original recipe. But I'm always like, add vegetables where we can, right? Okay. And when you're making the roux, as I was saying, you add a little bit of liquid at a time, and you always let that portion of the liquid come to a boil before you add more, because then it comes to its full thickening stage, I guess. Okay, so all of our liquid is added. We are going to add our chicken back in here. And you don't want to bury the chicken. We're just going to let it rest right on top so that skin will stay nice and crispy. Okay. Then we're going to let this finish in the oven. Now I have this fancy pan that you can screw off the handle. Hopefully it works. Since we're on camera, hopefully it goes smoothly. Bam! See, now we can go in the oven. It's my favorite cookware. Okay, so again, the oven's on about 400, or at 400. And this is going straight to the oven, and it's going to go for about 25 to 30 minutes. Okay guys, we are going to be making our spatzel dough. This is where the real experiment begins. Never done it. So if anyone has had spatzel or knows anything about it, please don't be offended if this doesn't turn out. We're going to try. So I have 3 cups of sifted all-purpose flour here. And we are going to add in a teaspoon of salt. Okay. And then I've got 2 eggs, 2 beaten eggs. That goes in. And 1 cup of milk. I just use 1% milk, so whatever you have. I'm sure you could use whole milk, skim milk, whatever you like. Okay, so we're going to mix this in until it forms a nice dough. I already have a pot of boiling water back here, so you always want to have that ready, because as soon as this is ready, we're going to drop little dumplings into the boiling water. And you can see this coming together already. It doesn't take much. You just want to make sure that all the flour is incorporated. Looks like we're just about there. Okay. So now this is the experiment part. So I just have a plastic cutting board, and we are just going to take some of this dough, kind of form it together here. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if this looks right, but we'll see. All right, I'm just forming sort of a log, because what we're going to do is just sort of roll in some dumplings right into the boiling water. So let me clean my hands off here. Okay. And we'll see how this works. Okay. I don't know. Okay, so we're just taking a little bit. You can see we're just going to roll off a little piece and drop it in. That didn't work too well. All right, I can see how this is going to go. This burner's still on. Whew. Okay, that's kind of a big piece. So I'm just going to keep rolling this dough just in little logs right into the water. And they only need to boil for about 3 minutes. They sink to the bottom when we put them in, so when they come to the top is when they'll be done. So we'll go ahead and just put all these in. Okay, I'm putting the last of our spatzel in here. It's working now. At first it was a little tough, but the more I get going, you get a groove on. You just have to make sure that you wet your cutting board and this slides off. So we just are making like little, I don't know, snakes, little worms of dough. So this makes quite a bit, so it's a hearty meal. You saw how big that pan is of the chicken and the vegetables. And this is making quite a bit of dumplings. Okay, so we're just about done. Maybe a couple more out of here. Perfect. And most of those are done. We'll just let those last couple get finished and then we will drain it. And then our chicken, let's peek at our chicken in the oven. Oh yeah, let me pull that out so you can see that. Look at all that bubbly goodness going on in there. This is going to be yum. Oh, can't wait, chicken paprikash. So just to recap real quick, we had 6 chicken thighs that we seasoned with paprika and salt and pepper. Then we browned them in 4 tablespoons of fat, 2 of butter, 2 of oil, and took them out, sauteed some cabbage, carrots, onions with more paprika and salt and pepper, and then added flour to start making a roux. Added 4 cups of chicken stock, slowly stuck everything back in the oven, and then we made our spatzel. So this is ready. We're going to go ahead and drain this. Okay. So we drain that, and then you want to rinse this in cold water. Just give it a nice little rinse. And then it's just going to sit until the chicken is ready. But I'm going to show you guys if you've never had spatzel. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It's like a dumpling, but it's firm like a noodle, maybe. So we bite into it. Yeah, it's just a nice dough. It's going to be great with that sauce. Okay, we are just about to take our chicken out of the oven and eat. I am just cutting up some fresh parsley for a garnish. I bought these fresh herbs today. And if you like to buy fresh herbs but think they go bad quickly, because this is my problem, I think. There's so many. I'm only going to use a little bit for dinner. So here's the secret. Get a glass of water and you can keep it in your fridge like this for up to 2 weeks. Okay, and it'll stay nice and fresh. Okay, so there's parsley. Oh, it smells good. When you cut that, it's so fragrant. Okay, so let's get our chicken out. Oh yeah, that is nice and crusted up there, brown. Liv, how good does it smell in here?
Great.
It smells great. Okay, so let's plate this up. So what we have here is our spatzel that we made earlier. We just need a little bit on our plate. You know, this, you can think of it as, you know, like a pasta or potatoes. I think we need a little more. That looks pretty good. Okay. And then we're going to dig down here and get our chicken and some vegetables. And get a little more of that. And you can see that sauce. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then a little bit of fresh parsley. And there is our chicken paprikash with spatzel. Let's eat!